everybody. Welcome back to Nature Journaling, day 2. I'm going to let everybody kind of get settled in and started. Sorry for being a little bit late. Of course, I had technical things again, but hey, one of these days I'll figure it out. At any rate, today we're going to be nature journaling. I'm at the front desk again. Oh, hey-oh. Today's activity is going to be gesture drawing. And let's see if I can mute my desktop sound over here, because we don't need that. So for those of you who have been a part of our Nature Journal Club that meets here on Saturdays, this is going to look like a really familiar activity because we have literally done this before. I didn't even have time to set up a new set of pictures. Things have been a little crazy around here. So these are going to be the same images that you have sketched in the past. And I think that's kind of a good thing because what it means is we are going to be able to kind of look back at like your first set of drawings and see how we've improved over time. So what we're going to be doing is seeing a series of timed images. And those timed images are going to be different natural things. Animals, I think all of them are animals. And so because they're timed, you're only going to get a small amount of time to actually see these items before they disappear. And that's kind of the point of doing a gesture sketch. So if you are ready to sketch with me, go ahead on your journal page and don't forget to write down like what today is and what we're doing today. I wrote down wild gestures because that sounded like a good term to me. And yeah, get ready to go. So I have my screen up here large so that you can see, and then I have my sketchbook down here in the corner so that you can kind of be like, oh, all right, that's what we're looking at. And I kind of have my Facebook feed up. I'm getting everything set up on the back end over here so I can actually see if there's comments and stuff while we are journaling. Oh my, something is making strange sounds here in the lobby. I think I have the times written in the corners. So here's what's going to be fun. The first several drawings are going to be like 30-second drawings. And again, we are trying to force ourselves to sketch quickly because, hey, that's what happens when you're looking at things out of nature. Everything just kind of comes and goes really, 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 really quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our sketching. Hopefully you've got a sketchbook. And I'm just using a pen again because since I'm trying to do gestures in particular, gesture sketches, I really don't want to get stuck trying to erase in my like 30 seconds I have to draw things. And I think that this whole thing lasts like, I don't know, like about 40 minutes or something. And the time intervals are going to get longer each time. So we're going to start off with like the 30 seconds, I think, and then it'll progressively get longer, so we'll have more time with each drawing. Okay. Are you ready? Get set, and let's go. Okay, so this is our 30-second drawing to start with, and it is a little dude. One thing that I'm having a hard time seeing my screen around this camera. One thing I have heard some people recommend that really helps them is to use more angular lines. It was kind of eye-opening to me to realize, like, hey, they've got a good point when they say things like, when you do a straight curve, you kind of round out some of the shapes and almost lose some of the integrity. So I'm doing angular shapes. Oops, I lost it. Okay, boop, boop, boop. There it is. That's a fast 30 seconds. Chickadee. Okay, this is almost like cheating. I love drawing chickadees. They've got these nice round heads and this little eye that's kind of on the same line there. I'm going to start by drawing the back of the bird and then like the tail out here and then his little chin. And I'm going to find where the tip of his wing is right there, and then whoop, there goes his little wing feathers. And a belly real quick. Oh gosh, they go so fast. Fox, jeez. See, this is what I mean, guys. It's fast. But if you're looking at it like an actual animal out there and it's going quickly, like what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just draw it in as fast as you can. For this one, I'm just going to focus in the head because I'm going to allocate my time to what I think I can sketch. And what's kind of fun about doing these gesture sketches where you're forced to do it real quickly is that you kind of lose that sense of, I have to make an absolutely perfect drawing. And what you end up doing as a result, I'm going to draw that hen that's right here, is you end up kind of capturing more like the personality of the drawing or the animal rather than like, trying to make the most perfect piece of art. Because remember, we're journaling, and so we aren't really as interested. I love how there's this weird plane of angles on this bird. We're not interested in necessarily just like making incredible artwork. We're interested in documenting things. Okay, there's my turkey. We're still on 30 seconds, so here's a cute little sulfur. Gosh, these butterfly shapes are way easier to do. Nice. Ooh, they've got fun big eyes. Has anybody done these before? These like gesture drawing sort of things? There's some really fun online tools. I know I've posted them in the past on our Nature Journal Facebook group, but I can try to post them again after we're finished here. Beaver, where you can get animals or human faces or feet and hands. Specifically, you can find ones that are like figure drawing, which is really fun. I think a lot of traditional artists, like not necessarily the nature journalist out there, but the regular fine artists, they will do gesture sketches as a part of their curriculum when they do figure drawings. And of course, those figure drawings, sometimes they have some fun different positions that you can try to draw and action. Wow, this is fun. These guys have huge ears. What even is this? Boo, 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 boo. Rabbit tail. This is, trying to figure out if it's like it's a black-tailed jackrabbit. Duh, okay. I had it written down there and everything. Okay, cardinal. And this is still 30 seconds. Ooh, this is a lady cardinal. At noon, I have a video going up that is one of our naturalist talks, and it's going to be a birdsong talk, and we talk about lady cardinals on that one. So make sure you tune in at some point if you're able to, because that's pretty fun. Ooh, there's a fun line going through the eye there. It's not like a pattern, like a color, but it's a really cool like feature. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this real quick if I can, so I can try to find, can I pause it? Yeah, we'll find out. So I can try to see who's stuff. Oh yeah, that's the point, Barbara. It is supposed to be really, really fast because like, if you notice on my sketches down here, I'm really not getting a whole lot of sketching finished. And it being so fast is like part of the challenge, right? It will get slower. So the point of going fast right now is that we are, oh dear, how do I stop this? Go away. Okay. So like the point of going fast is to force us to be less precise with our drawings. So we're trying really hard to get out of our comfort zone. I'm gonna start it up again. Get out of our comfort zone with how we sketch and draw things and just be like really, really generic, just drawing the outlines, the sketches, the shapes, the forms, things like that of this little guy. Oops, I left that sitting too long. Okay, green-winged teal. Oh, these guys are cute. Because, yeah, again, it's just part of the challenge of making yourself go faster and just getting the idea down on the page really quickly. Now, if you were doing this with a pencil instead of a pen like I am, imagine that you're out in the field sketching animals. So I saw like a little duck. If I got this like really crude outline in of this duck and then it flew away, well, I could then go back later on and look up maybe more of the details at a different date or when I got home so that I could finish the drawing at a different time. So yeah, ooh, there's some fun little stripies on this leg. So yeah, I know it's gonna feel like way too fast, but just rush yourself, like make yourself rush as you're doing these things. And oh, actually, now that I've said that, we're back to 1 minute now, so we've scaled it back a little bit. Oh shoot, well in that case, I've got more time to work on this little drawing, so I'm gonna try to add some more details. So yeah, that's what's fun. So it like broke us at first out of our need to be absolutely perfect with our drawings. And now we get a little bit more time and we're gonna feel that extra time. So whereas before it might have been like, wow, only 1 minute to draw, now it's like, holy smokes, we have a whole extra minute to draw. So I'm gonna move this over a little bit and let's do our stilt over here. Boop. I love stilts. Has anybody seen stilts out at like Quivira? Because that's real heckin' fun. I love seeing these guys. There was one on a nest pretty close to one of the roads not too long ago. I guess like last summer it was. And I just sat there and watched her. I think I actually took my nature journal out that day and sketched her on her nest. And it's kind of cool, like anytime you're able to go out into the field and journal your experiences, I find that I end up remembering them. Like it forms a memory more concretely in my mind. And then it's like little foot is kind of dangling in the water here. So yeah, now we have a whole minute. That like outline is so much easier and quicker to sketch in. And now it's about adding a few more details. You see, starting to feel it. And it's not precise. And that's okay. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at that horned toad. That's cute. Okay, let's do this one down here. Trying to figure out how to tackle this. And I'm again, like now that I've started doing those 30-second ones after having done that for a minute, it's like making me look a lot more at the shapes of the animal than the, I don't know, all the details. And you know how yesterday we were talking about the negative space and stuff like that? I'm kind of using that a little bit on this head. I know it's horribly difficult to see what I'm doing, but hopefully you're paying attention to your own drawings more than my little drawings here as a demo. Gosh, how am I gonna do these legs? Those are some weird looking legs. I love their little toes. That's okay. And you know what? Whenever you finish a drawing, or you get to a point where you're like, like this doesn't really look exactly like I want it to do, that's fine. At that point, you just start a new one. Ooh, okay. Here's a little cute dude. I know I said in the beginning, like, I'm trying not to do as many curves, but that shape is just so round. How can I not make it a little round dude? Gosh, they're cute. Oh, he's got his little paw up by his nose. Okay, so then we've got some like hair up here on the ears, and this one kind of barely sticks up over, and this one doesn't. Okay, there we go, there we go. I'm gonna try and make sure I get this like little foot in, because that seems more important than spending all this time on the ears. And golly, they've got like these big toes. I did not do that right, but that's okay. That's why I'm doing a pen, so I don't get stuck spending my valuable 1 minute erasing things. But you guys can do whatever you want, obviously, in your journals. Ooh, okay, so, ooh, this is a fun beetle. We're gonna move over here. And I hate that I'm spending more, like I have an extra 30 seconds now than we did before, but I'm still like taking extra time to be like, how do I want to tackle this drawing? Like, that's not the point, Rachel, come on. Big ol' antennae. Cute little, oh, eyeballs are over here. Eyeballs. Well. And let's see, these are some nice geometric shapes. Oh, is this, oh, it's a goldenrod soldier beetle. Heck yeah. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Beetle wings. These are called elytra. Fun little entomology term today. I'm going to try and teach you guys fun biology terms every time we nature journal. Now, because we're practicing gesture sketching, I'm not going to take the time to write that in my journal today, but you know, just like how we did an infographic yesterday and we could have taken the time afterwards to fill in some of those things, yeah, you can, after this, go ahead and fill in some details. So here's a little break for us, so we can take some time and rest our fingers if we need to, crack your knuckles. I'll try not to do that on the microphone. How's it going, guys? You managing here with these really quick gestures? Oh man, they're gonna get longer after this, and I think we're gonna end up doing 2-minute drawings and then like a 5-minute drawing and maybe a 10-minute drawing to wrap it up. So we're gonna keep adding more bits of time. So here's a little 5-minute break, but like it's kind of cool. Like I can tell by looking at my sketches which ones were first. Like this one right here, what even is that? I have no idea. It's something. But then like as time goes on, like I can really feel where I started to get comfortable with the idea of doing gestures. Like I think this turkey is my favorite one just because it's got some really fun angles in the neck that I managed to capture. And then you can see like, where you spent more time on them because they're a little bit more detailed. But since we're going to be spending a little bit more time on the next ones, I'm going to go ahead and flip my sketchbook over and start a new page. And go ahead and write in here all of my details that I had on the last one. So I'm going to write down these are 2-minute to 10-minute sketches. Whew, all right. And this will give us a nice like practice again. Like it's as if you were out in the field or sitting at home looking at a bird feeder out your window and you see these birds quickly in there and then you sketch out the details really quickly or the outline, the basic shapes, and then if the bird just happens to be cooperative and stick around longer, perfect. You get to have the extra time to fill in a few more details as they move around. It's good practice for that kind of stuff. Cool. Let's see. I'm going to write down Oscillation Week 2. Speaking of which, hope you guys are all staying safe out there. Taking your government-mandated walks and making sure that you still remember to be safe and conscientious of your fellow park goers while you're out doing that. So, stretch my fingers. I think I'm ready to go. Let's get going to our next gesture. And I can cheat, so I can totally see what the next drawing is going to be on my screen here. And it's a deer. Oh, baby. Very excited for that. Cool. So, feeling rested? Great. Let's move on. Here's our 5-minute timer. Oh boy. Okay. That's a fun angle. What is this guy doing? Chewing on leaves. So let's see. I'm going to try and find some general lines. Boop, 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 boop. Again, I'm being kind of angular just to try and like break myself out of my habits of doing curves that are a little bit too precise and break up the shapes in a way that's, I don't know, not as true to form. Not that being super triangular is true to form either, but it's just a different way of drawing things. I like to try and force myself to draw differently, like with our gestures today. Cool. So let's see. I made this guy a little too skinny, I think, but that's okay. We're less than halfway done. Holy smokes. I did not spend enough time. Okay. Go, 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 Rachel, go. Go, go, go. Wow, that went fast. Still not enough time. I was like, wow, double the time. And I still managed to spend the entire... Oh, this is a 5-minute drawing. Wow, I panicked for nothing. So, wow, this is a 5-minute drawing. That was the first minute, so we have 4 whole more minutes left. Good night. Well, in that case, I'm going to try and correct the damage I did over here with my pen. And you know what? It's okay. It's going to be an imperfect drawing. Drawings get to be imperfect sometimes. That's how you learn. He's got a long tail. Oh, I see Peggy on my chat. I can't see what she says, though. Oh, she tagged somebody. Cool, thanks. But yeah, let's see. I think I messed up my timer. I'm so sorry, friends. Let me get back on here. What happened? There it goes. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened. It doesn't really like it when I click anywhere off of this page. So sorry. What have I done? Okay, we're gonna go back. Oh, there we go. Now I'm not gonna touch anything from now on because I can see your comments in the chat. Wow, he's a little too leggy. You know what? It's fine. Oh gosh. This is what practice is for. Oh man. So we are getting through our 3rd minute here, and there we go. Wow, that sure is a deer. Let's get his other leg in here. Cool. And I'm just gonna attempt to make some like forest floor type ground in here. We'll give him a shadow. How's that? Help ground him in the scene a little bit. Neat. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since I've got like extra time still, is maybe add a few more details to the outline and like the most important shapes that I'm seeing. And this is just how I'm choosing to allocate my time. You guys might find that a slightly different method works for you better, and that's great. So do whatever makes you comfortable. It's your journal. But as for me, I'm going to add details to the important bits. So like I'm noticing some shapes in here, like, oh, that's almost like a little shoulder bone. Can you tell what's happening in between my other pen scribbles? Not as much, but you know what? It's okay. There we go. So I'm refining the outline a little bit. I'm going to try and get some knees in here. And of course, the face can be pretty important. So we're going to spend, for me at least, a little bit more time on that face and darkening up the nose. And I'll try to get the eye in here in a way that kind of gives us a sense of where its eye is. And he's kind of twisting his head around a little bit, so it looks a little different from how I would guess to draw it. Okay, so there's some like weird things happening with the muscles down here on the legs. I'm going to attempt to get some of these shapes in here. And I'm noticing that my pen is smudging quite a bit, so I might actually switch back to my ballpoint pen here in a minute. It's a little bit easier for me to like do sketching type stuff with a ballpoint pen anyway, because you have so much more control over, you know, how hard you're pressing and then how dark the lines get to be. So, all right. There's some fun like little shapes and crinkles in the fur there that I'm going to try and get in there. And I'm going to switch my pen out. How much time do we have left? Like 2 minutes? Ooh, okay, this is fun. It's crazy going from having like 2 minutes to work with to having like a whole 5 minutes. So this is great. So I'm going to try and come in here and add in both ears. And now that I have my ballpoint pen and I can do some more shading, I'm going to try and actually do that. So let's see if I can't like do a little bit of like contour type shading on this little dude, where I can see he's got some shadows. And oops, well, that was the end of our 1 minute. Okay, cool. Ooh, a Cooper's Hawk. That's fun. No. Sorry, my phone thought that I was talking to it. That's not true. Let's see. I'm going to start by getting like the wings in and then mapping in where the head's going to go. Boop, there's his head. Kind of sticks out a little bit further. Let's see, before I spend too much time on the face, I'm just going to map in kind of where like the feathers change in his head. So I'm going to get that little plane, kind of map out generally where the eye is, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my time figuring out how the rest of the body fits in. So let's see. You know what's really, he's too close to the deer. It's fine. We're just going to overlap, and that's okay. So here's his little throat. He's going to go across his belly like this. And then he's got his little talons. Well, I have spaced this out in properly, so we're not going to be able to put his whole, all the details of his legs in there quite as much as otherwise. But it's kind of cool seeing, like, you know, birds are really hard to draw because their feathers really mask a lot of their body parts and the different, like, it just smooths everything out a little too much, where it's like hard to see what's happening. And I like how at the tip of his wings, it's almost like little fingers, but then the actual wing feathers are a little bit like more precisely laid out. So I'm going to also try to look for on bird wings here, the like kind of precise shapes of like the divisions of, I'm trying not to use strictly biological terms, but you know, like the primaries, secondaries, the coverts on the wing that kind of give it that wing-like shape. That's kind of one of my pet peeves when people are drawing birds, is when the wings don't have the correct like distinct shapes to them. And that's just, you just have to pay attention to the different like broad shapes before you start drawing feathers, because the moment people start like drawing just precise feathers, that's when you get those kind of weird cartoon angel wings situations going on. So these guys also are really showing off the undertail coverts. I'm going to use biological terms, sorry. Which is that white little butt, basically. And that's kind of fun. And so you can kind of see how the tail feathers fit into that. Boop, boop, boop. And there's that general shape. I'm going to go ahead and do his other wing out here. And I love how that first one kind of like flips out a little bit. I think I drew that too long. Let's see. That's okay. And you know what? It's all about practice. So this is one practice. If you wanted to, you could set yourself up with like a gesture drawing lesson or practice with just birds and or the same species of animal, and just fill a page with gestures from that one animal. That's something that's really fun to do, honestly. It ends up feeling a little bit like a Sibley guide, or, I guess it's just a really traditional naturalist journal, because you've got like all the different behaviors you might be observing in a given time for an animal, and it's just cool seeing all those differences. Hi, Doug. Welcome. Glad you could make it. You can always go back and watch this a different time. And you have totally done this before, Doug. So let's see what you remember. Oh. So I'm going to try and get this little plane in. He's got some fun stripies, but I want to spend a little bit more time on the face. This might be a good time. Like, I have some white gel pens that I will use sometimes to, like as a different type of white out almost. So I can go back in and like redefine places where I've drawn a little bit too hard and it's gotten a little too dark and you can't see what's happening anymore. Yeah, that's a really fun thing to do. All right, cool. So we're gonna crudely map in some of that stuff. I don't know that this is necessarily the most accurate depiction of a Cooper's hawk, but that's okay. I am gonna be okay with that. I think if I were to start over with a different sketch, I'd probably try to focus more on the proportions of, I don't know, it's hard because like this body is maybe a little bit shorter, and maybe the reason why it's not really tracking as easily for me is because I don't have all these breast stripes in here on the bird, and maybe if that were there, it would fit in a little bit better. It's also kind of hard to depict exactly how these armpit feathers kind of melt into the rest of the wing and camouflage in there. But hey, that's okay. Let's see, if I were to add more detail, I think I am going to attempt to add some of these little stripies in. And it's kind of fun because these stripes are really more like spots, but they just kind of happen to fall in a stripe-like pattern because of the way that the feathers are sitting on the bird's chest. Cool. And then very, very stripy face on this Cooper's hawk. This is a juvenile bird too, so that's why this one doesn't look like, if some of you are familiar with Cooper's hawks from stalking your feeder birds, that's why this one looks a little bit different. It is a young bird, and so he's got stripes and bars all over his body instead of being like that kind of cool, slick gray coloration that you would expect to see in an adult. And maybe some stripies on the wings. Imperfect. If this were a journal page and I was getting desperate, I would just kind of write in what the stripes are. Did somebody just angry react because of the Cooper's hawk? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like they're kind of one of the coolest birds that you get at your feeder, in my personal opinion. Oh no, did I mess this up? I did. Oh well, we're gonna move on. All right, another break. How long were we stuck on that 1 minute slide? Oh geez. Well, anyway, let's see. Take another little break. Stretch out your fingers. I think the next one is gonna be our longest one. So we're gonna get a little bit more time to really define our drawing, and I'm gonna try really hard not to do my darkest ballpoint pen lines right in the beginning. And let's see if I can't let's see. I want to do my final drawing at the bottom here, I think. But we're going to do a full 10-minute long drawing this time. So we're really gonna get some time to do some extra shapes. And maybe, I'm trying to think how I want to tackle it. Do I want to go back to my original like outline? Maybe not. Hopefully some of you guys are using pencils and having a bit of an easier time with organizing your sketches and gestures. Here, 5 minutes. Cool, feeling ready for the next step? Excellent. Let's go ahead and go on our 10-minute drawing. Boom. It's a prairie dog. Oh, and there's 2 of them. So you feel free to only draw one of them because that is kind of cheating. Again, Doug, I know you have seen this one before, and I'm sure, I don't know if Mary's watching right now, but my regular nature journalers, you've definitely seen this little feature before. But I'm going to try not to forget what I've just learned from all my gesture practicing, and that is blocking in some general shapes first before you get carried away with the details. So, now, I know that the zoo is closed right now, big sad face, but recently I went to the zoo with Nicole and Lindsay, and we actually spent a lot of time sitting in front of their prairie dog exhibit, watching the prairie dogs. And I wonder if there is somewhere out there a prairie dog cam that you could watch. There's definitely videos of prairie dogs, but at any rate, like, we just sat in front of the prairie dog cage forever, and I had my journal with me, so I just sketched prairie dogs for a very long time, and it was so fun because they're such active little animals, and so they end up in all these different postures and positions and just doing different fun things. And I know, like, our last in-person Nature Journal Club meeting that we had, we spent a lot of time practicing and learning how to capture movement by like incorporating little arrows and other fun things like that. So I really tried hard to do that when I was journaling at the zoo with the prairie dogs, and I was like, oh, look at their little like tails going whoop, 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 and wagging around, and so I would try to do that in my journal, and yeah, it was pretty fun. So let's see. I wonder if I can get this camera a little bit closer to my drawing so y'all can see it better. It might be blurry because I can't really tell, but it's fine. So there's my little prairie dog. I'm trying to get his little shapes, or her little shapes. Boop. I love how she's just like so relaxed, almost too relaxed here. And what's happening with these little toes? Oh, there's like one down here, and then they kind of arc up like this. So we'll just kind of quickly sketch in some toes. Fun. Okay, so I'm almost done blocking in my first prairie dog. Gosh, this is cute. I love prairie dogs, man. They're just such fun, engaging little social animals. Okay. I don't know how much time we have left. I don't have a timer on this one. Let's see. We started at 10:42 according to my clock, so we still have quite a bit of time. Cool. In that case, I'm going to spend some extra time blocking in these shapes and figuring out where these hands meet and where they start. So the arm kind of starts up here, and then it goes down to these little fingers. Cool. So I hope y'all are working on your prairie dogs. I would love to see any sketches that you've done posted in the Nature Journal Club Facebook group. And I know sometimes it's like intimidating to share your work and stuff, so I totally get why people don't want to do that. But I would love to see it. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why we're doing this, because it's just about like capturing things in different ways and seeing what features people notice that's maybe different from what we have noticed. Cool, I'm gonna try and get his little paw in there, and that shape here. Cool. This is so cute. All right, I'm gonna try and get his little ground squirrel mouth. Have you noticed, so as we're looking at this like face a little bit more closely, that it looks a lot like a squirrel face? Like, okay, yes, the ears, basically non-existent. Definitely different from a tree squirrel. The tail, yeah, also like non-existent, very different from a ground squirrel, but like they've got little squirrel faces for sure. You feel me? cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this little guy sketched in. If you're just joining us late, we've been practicing gesture drawings and like basically making ourselves sketch like the forms and the shapes as quickly as we can, just to like practice getting stuff down the page really fast in an imprecise way. And this is the last step. So we have, let's see, we have done like 30-second drawings, 1-minute drawings, I think 5-minute drawings. And if you want to do this at home, I will try to post the link to the resource that already exists out there. We can do like, this is a class type setting where you do get the different lengths of time that increase as you go. But you can also set it up so that all you get is like 1-minute drawings or 30-second drawings, or I think there's even 10-second drawings, which I don't know who could possibly do that. That sounds a little too difficult, but you might be out sketching sometime where you only have 10 seconds with an animal. So any amount of like form or shape you can get down to capture it in that amount of time is going to be helpful. So I'm going to try and get little claws. They've got these real big long claws, which, I mean, burrowing rodent, so definitely makes sense. But there we go. I'm going to try and indicate that there's longer fur on the arm by giving them a little bit more of like these long furs. And I think the next thing I want to do, because I'm pretty satisfied with like the overall shapes on here, is I want to kind of try to capture the shape of the fur. And again, I did say like you could draw both of them if you wanted to. I'm going to focus on the one prairie dog though, just because we've only been drawing one critter the last several ones. But yeah, it's cool how the fur kind of like shows the contour of the body and what the body is doing and the different shapes on the body. So I'm gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on adding fur contours, showing where maybe there's longer fur, where the fur's parting, which direction the limb is going, to give it more like that 3D sort of feel. And this is where doing everything in a ballpoint pen is maybe a little bit holding me back, and that's okay. It's nice to have different constraints. For me, you might be different, and that's totally fine. But yeah, there we go. Okay, and we've got some like paws going on over here. Let me get the soles of their feet. I'm gonna go ahead and like use my little ballpoint pen here to shade in the darker skin on this little guy on the back foot. Oh, I love their little paws. You know what? The back feet don't have quite as long claws on them. Huh, I'm just now noticing that. That's pretty cool. It makes sense, I guess, because if you've watched a prairie dog dig, they definitely use the front feet to do all the digging. So yeah, that's like one of the fun parts about nature journaling, is that by like forcing yourself to do the muscle memory of like documenting the things you're noticing, you end up noticing more than you would if you were just staring at a prairie dog. Plus, staring at a prairie dog can only hold your attention for too long. If they're not doing anything, I guess. Otherwise, they can hold your attention for a long time. They're so interesting. Yeah, let's see. There's some weird, like, parts in the fur up here. I wonder why. Oh, maybe it's because the other prairie dog is just so close that it's, like, causing the fur to part a little bit. Oh, that's cool. Do you guys know that prairie dogs kiss to greet each other? I know I've said this like 10 million times, but please go listen to Nicole's episode of our podcast. That's my favorite. I think it's called The Best Doggies because prairie dogs are truly the best doggies. They really are cute, Doug. I just love them. And I wish I could recommend right now that everybody go to the Sedgwick County Zoo to watch their little prairie dog colony. I don't know, like everybody just walks past them, but they're so fun to watch. Maybe there's going to be some live streams of stuff like that, but at the very least, when they're back open again, don't walk past the prairie dogs. Like, hang out and enjoy them for a little bit. Oh man, they're so fun. Okay. There's some weird stuff happening with his cheek, and I think it's because he's got his little friend there just like all up in his face. There we go. And let's see, I think I have like 1 minute left. Oh man. All right, we're getting close to time being up on our gesture. So I'm gonna try and get some little belly furs in. First stop at the zoo, please and thank you. Do that. They're just so interactive. It's so fun to sit and watch them for ages. And they'll like have little wars. Like I followed this one prairie dog in particular in my journal for a long time, and it was just like running around and like attacking its neighbor, but only like under certain circumstances and stuff. I don't know. It was really funny. Oh, we're done. That's it. Anna says that the best doggies is a best episode, and I fully agree, partly because during that episode is when we discovered that we were recording in Todd's office, and while we were recording, we noticed some baby spiders, and the Black Widow in his office had hatched. There were just baby Black Widows all over the place. So naturally we left in a lot of that like screaming and general hilarity. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for joining me on this nature journaling gesture exercise. What I'm gonna do is, I guess in the comments of this video, I will try to go ahead and find that line of action resource. I will note for any parents on here, a lot of art does involve like nude poses, and so there is an option on here for nude poses. So if you have kids that are using this, make sure you help them to use the animal options, or if they're doing figure drawing, to select the option that has only people wearing clothes. If that's what you would like to do. But just be aware that that's an option. I'm going to go ahead and copy this right now and put it in the comments. And this is a link directly to the animals version. So that is a practice tool that you guys can use to do a session like this using whatever types of animals you would like, and different time intervals, different class lengths and things like that. So there's like a 30-minute class mode, like kind of what we did today, or an hour or 2 hours or whatever. So have some fun with that. And if you're feeling like it is so fast and it's like too hard to keep up with, like that's the point. So don't worry. It's not you not being able to do it correctly or something. It's hard, and that's what makes it such a good exercise for drawing fast-moving critters or quickly jotting down a leaf before your group leaves you behind. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna be doing this. Let's see. I don't know if I will for sure be in this weekend to do another one of these. I might stream something from my apartment or something instead of coming into the building. But I will absolutely be doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 in the morning on the GPNC's page. So yeah, thanks for following along with me. It was a lot of fun. If you guys did some gesture drawing, or if you end up doing some of the practice tool from the Line of Action website, please share it with the Nature Journal Club, share it in the comments, whatever. I would love to see everybody just getting to spend some time with nature and noticing different things about the animals that I wouldn't notice if I were doing the sketches. So that's it. Thank you guys. I'll see you for sure on Tuesday. Well, and you will see me at noon today, because I have my bird song presentation at noon. So okay, I guess I better stop yapping and get off of Facebook. But thanks guys. See you later.